Hi, it's Kathy Vick, Deeply Awake. This is a special night for me. 3 weeks ago tomorrow, I did my first video, embodiment, and then some things started to happen. I was told about midway through. Well, think it through, do the math. If let's say an 8,000 word essay converts into 14 minutes, and 8,000 words is roughly 7 pages, then imagine how many pages have been written. Imagine. So I could stun you with my clarity of what I wish to accomplish now. I have an idea of what I need to do. I have already laid this out for my dad, who worries every night for my safety and my survival. To which I tell him, I would really rather have you consider, when you feel the need to worry, sit down and consider the things that have proven to you how strong I am and how clever and how much of a survivor. Do that instead. And sit in quiet meditation with how capable your daughter is, and then how much she loves you, and how much she loves others, and how proud you are of her. Do that instead of the worry, okay? Because I don't need it. What I need is your love, not your fear. And that was coming from a very, very deep place, from one old soul to another, saying, listen, this is not helpful, I don't think, for either of us, and there's another way to go. Let's try this instead. Whether he takes that up or not, I don't know, but I needed to make that request for him, of him. And it's okay, either way, it's his consciousness. It's his choice, how he chooses to hold it, and what stance he chooses to take. I could go on and on. You know that. Anybody who's hanging around with me for any amount of time knows that conversation is sort of like almost a drug to me. It's like, oh, let's have more of that. Oh, where'd you go with that thought? Oh, yeah. Okay, tell me more. Like that. Oh. But, you know, in the end, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I can lay out plans. I often do. But not as often as I used to. I usually just kind of let my reality roll. And there have been some heart-pounding moments. So in those moments, they have come to me and said, okay, now that we have your attention, are you sure you want to play it this way? We suggest that you get the book out and start lending some structure. I had a realization in the 80s, and I was really taking care of myself well, and really proud of it, and just one moment of just shining, wait, I can do this. Wait, I can take care of myself. Whoa. I can make my reality go. And I said, Richard, I had this realization, and then I just stopped, and I stopped being able to do that. So what happened? He said, I don't know, let's go to meditation and realize what happened. And I realized as I sat there imagining myself, you know, in this nice, clean, fixed up place, what's preventing me from doing this all the time? Why am I struggling so much with, why am I resisting this so much? And in front of me was a impossibly large, impossibly thick wall with Mother's face on it. Now, my mom made it abundantly clear that she was not to be called Mother. It was like a swear word in our house. You don't say Mother, you say Mom. But no, right there, Mother, in 3D. And as I'm driving to take care of an issue that my, not procrastination, but simple lack of judgment and linear timekeeping created. I thought about that. Isn't that funny? All this time. Because now I really feel capable. I feel willing to do the picking up and the cleaning up and the laundry and the organization and blah, blah, blah. Because my reality runs better that way. I'm happier. Isn't it funny? All this time, Mother's face. And it was like they were booming, well, we were waiting for you to ask for help, dear. Of course Mother's here. She's not a wall. She was just waiting for you to ask for help. And believe it real. And so, we close with a little meditation tonight. On the way over to the spa, this one before you had some things to say to us. Not liking the way that she felt she was being moved like a little piece on a game board. Her actions seeming so purposeful, appropriate, and self-directed. And then in a moment, in a flash of healing on a table, she realizes, oh, wait a minute. There are 2 crystals from that little palace in my purse, and I blessed them, putting one under each breast and then praying, such high meditation. And I gave one to my daddy. It sits in his home, and the other one is in my purse. Funny. Isn't that funny? Knowing full well what that meant, that, there was some grounding and healing and all that, just setting of a new vibration. Runners carrying the word. The Kali Yuga is dead. Long live the Golden Age. The time of the 5th sun. Not a dream some isolated hippie made up. Not something that started as some sort of weird hallucinogenic concept in the 60s during a love-in. No. Not, nothing like that. Nothing like that. And it's a caricature of what's really going on here. So, I'll let them come through again. We are quite close to tears tonight, and so we make this message brief. We told her to just unplug the electrical strips. Just let them go, and leave the fan on, be comfortable. Don't worry. Let the cushion of sleep assist, and let us just give you gifts now. But you were heard, dear one, you were heard. This idea of being a pawn, this idea of being acted upon, for a higher purpose, of course, that's okay. If as long as someone is winning, then it's okay. Use me, use me, use me. Well, that time is coming to an end, dear one, and you know it. No sovereign speaks those words unless they are speaking to another sovereign, and there's something afoot where cooperation is required. Combination of power, not not even exchange, willing cooperation. This Kali Yuga, call it what you wish. This time will be looked upon as a great relief starting in 14. And yes, it would be made abundantly clear when things are laid out more clearly. Just what occurred and why. There's much that does not need to be revealed. Only to say that this is one soul of many who has taken upon themselves to move things. And those among you who understand can appreciate what she has done. And so let it ever be known that we are so proud of this one for everything she has accomplished in isolation and in partnership, in group. As hard as it was for her, every step of the way, she did it. She understood two very important parts that we wish to express. She understood that the reflective flower here, well, that's part of the integration process. It's not that we remove this diseased thing, no. The silver and the gold weave now, and it expands as it should have, so it's covering and including, and yet it sits as almost a halo around the head of the sovereign sitting in that golden seat. She's only beginning to realize the connection to the earth, to Yoni. That's fine, plenty of time. And oh, what fun exploration, yeah? Done in the way that you wish, with the kind of partners you have requested, you experience, and in gentleness, of course, to all parts of self in all times, in divine timing. And so it is, and so it was, and so it shall be. C'est là. However, it goes much deeper than who is going to hold her hand or assist her in these realms of awakening and joy. That's not the point. The point is she has access now, and she did not before. And the woman who sat before you, discussing embodiment, was strong and sure of foot, and clever of mind, and quick of wit, and sweet of tongue, but uninitiated, we say, unrealized as yet. And then with that one moment, leaning in and saying, "Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?" Well, of course we are. Of course she was. But still, it had to be asked. And so it began. With permission. With permission. With a simple enough question, but with permission. Given. And then it began. It is up for each viewer to decide what happened here. If she is putting you on, if her experience, in your opinion, is valid. But we would say again, in her forever high praise of her, without guile. This is one individual looking into a camera, trying to figure out what's going on, knowing that by doing so in a way that is highly exposing, highly unique and new and breathtakingly beautiful in its magnitude and risk. We don't believe we've seen anything quite this spectacular for quite a while. And so it is up to you. We submit whether anything in this video library is true or not. However, the work will now be to transcribe sweetly, at a pace without risk of harm to the physical vehicle of the mind. What she has withstood is tremendous, and you can tell the verbal faculties are beginning to weaken. But this flower grew, enveloped, and then became something else. And it was a very good metaphor. She understood that this is what she has done with her anger and her fear. In the end, the final shower, realizing she had told each of them separately, after profound realizations, that these are individuals who ride with her and are young and freaked out. They were asked to ride point and sort out reality for her without having the skill or the knowledge to do so wisely at times. And so what they really required of her first was to be told, oh, get in the back seat of the car, I'm driving, can't you see? But it went beyond that. What happens at the end of the car ride? What happens at the end of the day to these poor souls who had taken over and could barely see over the steering wheel and drove this car for years? What then? What happens now? And she, individually, at different parts of her awakening, envisioned herself as a mama, taking this petrified, exhausted child to a warm bed and lovingly tucking them in, kissing them on the forehead and saying, dear one, thank you so much for everything you've done for me. I want to apologize for having put you in the position I did. I didn't understand things, and I made you do things that were very hard for you. And perhaps as a result you had to do things you would prefer not to. To get my attention so you could be here tonight, safe and quiet, and knowing that you're home. So good night, fear. Thank you. Good night, anger. Thank you. It's time for you to sleep now, and in the morning you don't have to go to work anymore. With plenty of food and drink and rest for the rest of your lives. You will never be put in the position of having to drive that car. There's a grown-up driving the car now. And after the visions of blood dripping out of her, after the pain of watching child torture and murder child, after watching the divine male warp and twist under the pressure of this age The beautiful male, so strong and sound and beautiful. Oh, so beautiful. Trying so hard. We say, oh, dear Carly, can we thank you enough? No, we can't. There are no words. And so here's a bed. It's the softest one. It's the biggest one. It's sweetly scented. And it's warm. Because we warmed it with the ancient techniques that you taught us, in which we used to heal ourselves when you had gone off the deep end again. Your great lover, the patriarch, can lie down beside you. It's warm, the bed is warm and big enough, but we think that perhaps, just for tonight, you sleep separately and have beautiful dreams of being children, being innocent and walking into a time when you can express any way you want, anything that feels good to you, because we know you as a golden warrior of light, and we honor you tonight as no one has ever been honored. Divine male, oh, sweet man, please snuggle in between those sheets and feel how soft, more satisfying than a woman's skin somehow. Time now to see that your refreshments are at your bedside. We have seen to your needs, not out of fear, dear, out of appreciation, out of respect for the light that you carry and what you were willing to do to experience it whole again. So, good night, dear ones. It doesn't make sense for Parvati to be the one to bring in these splintered and beautiful parts of self. Somehow, Parvati is just too weak of a model to contain what has been learned. And so, a true goddess steps forward who has somehow been able to make the pain into the bubbles of a champagne glass, effervescent and delightful somehow, intoxicating even, allowing for memory to slip from disasters which came as if they are not even available for discussion, and all that remains is the simple satisfaction of a job well done in an earth that is quiet and still, and suddenly, finally, at peace. What comes next is up to you, individually and as a group. Isn't that the truth? Every day of your life? Have we not said there's no such thing as predetermination? Everything is up to your will, your divine will. This has nothing to do with simple female empowerment. It is a weak expression of this love that is more unshakable than a mountain. So we thank each of you for having come along on this journey. We cannot guarantee that there won't be more videos, obviously. The amount of data and thought constructs we were able to produce in a short amount of time is spectacular. And it will take time to transcribe everything, but it will be transcribed and it will be released in text form under Deeply Awake, so that you may access both kinds of information. She prefers being read to, does not like reading. It is not as full of an experience for her. She even uses subtitles, and she's not hearing impaired, but it is a way for her to add meaning to what she is seeing. And it helps her. So it's very nice to have the videos. It's a godsend and a missing link for her. And now we must work the other way and do the transcription. Also be it. Life will go on. So you'll be good at the transcription. You already had that training, dear. You're quite adept, so we're not worried. But now is the time to truly bring this in and quiet it. The issue was, tell me, if I am you and you are me, and you carry all of this that I have free access to, just like the teachers do, and I can say to any human being, if you wish, I give you anything you want that I can access, but it's not about what I can do, it's about what you're willing to have done. So reach deep and decide what you have in willingness to know, and then speak, and we go from there, and we assist. Open always to being brought up short sometimes, and surprised. This is the fun part about working with people. Such entities, such beauties. We can say that every male is a god and every female is a goddess. This would be accurate and true. We could say that each human being is a human angel with wings that are, in essence, energetic amplifications, which are part of the structures of the being. We could say many things, but the truth of it is that it was language at the very beginning. The point here is to walk around as a soul, not as a personality. Personality is rife with conflict, coding, overlay, karma, misunderstanding, and this energy that seems to perpetuate itself, even though clearly the harbingers of the new day are well in place and growing strong, every single day. And as they reach out and find that they are truly among non-shaming and accepting peers, it matters not what mummy and daddy said. Clearly, they can look at each other and look at the old generation and say, ugh, they need therapy. This is often what the grandchildren are saying when no one's listening, no one of authority, and the old energy, the invalidating energy, are around. We understand that the 1 minute 20 video was truly just a simple introduction to the theory of validity, And she appreciated on the way to the sauna that this is the next step, because she is working on personality integration, and this sounds unfortunately a lot like psychotherapy, and it is not. We can assure you it is not. It is based in physical law that is not yet understood on this planet, but will be. It speaks to this reflection, which then became something else and then became functional. It speaks to the idea of an entire thought construct such as anger, rage, defensiveness can be seen for what it is and soothed and put to bed. And fear, dear fear, to say that these are devices, that these are gifts that you have given yourselves to discover your reality is perhaps not all that you believe it is entirely accurate and true. These words are best elucidated by the Master Enrique Boran. It truly is not that it's just that this person before you went to a class of his and then decided he was really neato. No. Then you misunderstand what you have in front of you. You misunderstand. And it's easy for you to discount this brain, perhaps because of the vessel, but you're looking at a scholar of profound proportion. And it is now time for her to run free and to assist as she sees fit. We can assure you that her judgment is sound. And her intent is pure, and that of service to other. And so she followed the instruction we give her, and she go to bed and everything be good. She watch a little Kimi and she feel better. She loved the Andromedan man. And then in the morning she wakes up and she gets to go get healed again, held in the arms of her friends and protected, inviolate, safe for one more day and one more night before she makes her way into humanity again and must come to a place where she has peace at every moment, regardless of how anyone is behaving. We would like, in closing, to talk about this arm of hers. You have perhaps noticed that in talks this arm begins to tense like this, and it was only at the very end of the time we had with her this afternoon that the words, as much a thrum of high meditation from us as her, we could not help but say, is it not nice to release the sword that's been in your hand for centuries? Is it not a relief to put down the spear you have had to use for millennia? Isn't it touching there on the vanity counter lies the 2 gold pans and chain you carried as the symbol for justice, and lying beside is your blindfold, dear, free again to do as she sees fit. If she is a living goddess, then that means that every single woman that you have contact with is indeed a living, breathing goddess. We suggest that anyone interested access the work of Dr. Amber Wolf, W-O-L-F, and discuss with her what she has come to understand about the Lemurian sisterhood. This is a very, very wise way to consecrate and celebrate divine feminine in form, where the use of the term goddess and the concept of applying the word sacred to a human is more than encouraged, because it is the truth. It's just home talking. She Magatha, of course. Of course, dear one. And who is Magatha's they, huh? Who does Magatha get her messages from? Well, could it be someone like the teachers, some group? Well, possibly. And then who is the teachers they? Who are the teachers? And who do they answer to? Funny, that question hasn't been asked, and there's only one reason why. It's because she was given access to identity. You are left to make your own decisions about what has been presented, how good it feels to you, how it makes you feel inside, cautioning you that if it fills you with things that feel like pins and needles or shards of glass, you are being awakened, dear. You are not being offended, you are being awakened. And we would suggest completely voluntarily, so there's no need to blame, no need to shame or throw guilt. That is your discomfort talking. But you are the one who submitted yourself to the information, isn't that true? And so, many of these things may seem like simple concepts to the onlooker. Clearly you can see the distress. Whether it's easier and simple or not, it was not for this one. We would suggest that it was well timed and totally appropriate, her issues, as she learned early that her entire life was that of archetype. It is fine. And so we close by honoring a true grandmother who offered this one so much in the way of validation, and by doing so helped her to become whole enough to even venture into this project. And so we offer our profound and lasting devotion and reverence and love to Nancy. There are so many who could be thanked. We end there because it's Mother's Day. When she got it, everyone had a them. Everyone had a them. Who are the they? Who are the they? And how big does this thing get? It became very clear. Well, dear, everyone has a mother. Everyone has a mother. What is a mother but someone who has been moved by extraordinary, otherworldly, profound, supernatural love? We ask you, is not a mother an avatar of so much home and hearth and industry and sacrifice and willing generosity, all of those things? Yes, that's what we would say. Is a body attractive? Is it desirable? we would suggest all bodies are. And with alignment of purpose, will, and love, then the sharing begins, and not until. For some, not for all, for some. So we allow each their expression, the divine expression. We take our cue from the grandchildren, crystal children, the indigo, and the old soul, who stand on a hill, arms outstretched. Some have been doing it for years, unable to do anything but, unwilling to do anything but. It's fine to have a whole generation embodying these truths. It is important to have ones who are already well established in industry, professions, to become aware of a higher law, a more indelible one, that of benevolence, the only law of the land. You may call it Christic love, you may call it unconditional love, you may call it any kind of thing you want. These are man-made constructs that are very nice, but they are attempts only to name the unnameable, to know the unknowable, and to become oneself. Spoken to you with, through, and for peace. Beyond words, the peace that comes after. The peace beyond all understanding. We know we have done our job. In humanity, quiets, looks left, looks right, looks forward, looks behind, looks down, looks up, and looks within, and says, I see you. I know you. I love you. Thank you. Imagine a planet where everyone as one says these words from their soul. That is why we're here. Enough has been said. We wish you a fun night. Namaste.